what, in your experience, are some of the common mistakes that parents make?
Negative association with learning is something that puts kid at back step. बच्चों को इतना सॉफ्ट क्यों बना देना है? It's not about being making them soft. उनको resilient बनाना है हमें.
काफ़ी ज़्यादा focus था on marks. How do you think that has changed?
It is gradually changing to an extent, but still it is so deep rooted in our systems. When they are left free to learn on their own, we have no idea what all capacities their brain have.
Hello parents, do you remember your kindergarten days? नहीं right? बहुत time हो गया. It was what, like decades ago? But कितना सुंदर and beautiful that phase was. Cute water bottles, nursery rhymes, superhero pencil boxes, and most importantly, friends के साथ playtime. And just imagine, your kid is now about to enter that phase. But let's be honest, things have changed so much. Now kids are expected to adapt faster, think differently, independently, and most importantly, grow up in a world filled with technology. This has obviously increased parenting challenges quite a bit. But don't worry, we are back with another episode of the Parenting Playbook. And today, we are going to deep dive into one of the most important phases of parenting, early education and learning. And to help us, we have someone who is closely working in the space of modern education and skill-based learning. Please welcome Ms. Swati Goel, a joyful learning expert, actively working towards making learning more meaningful, engaging, and future-ready for children. She is also certified in Therapeutic dance in education, bringing a unique blend of creativity and emotional development into learning. Swati, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I think it couldn't have been a better introduction, and it's indeed an honor to be here. Honestly, thank you so much.
I'm so looking forward to having a conversation with you.
Same, and I'm really excited.
Personally, this is a topic very close to my heart. Education is something that always has very strong opinions from everybody, and there are so many different ways of going around it. So, very interested in knowing your ideas.
Yes, and I think the whole education meaning and the way we were taught, and now the way our kids should be taught, and the way the schools are also evolving is way different. Yeah, and that's how it should be.
So Swati, before we jump in and we start discussing the entire school journey of kids, let's take a step back. Let's discuss the key factors that are to be kept in mind before deciding whether a child is ready to go into school or not. Generally, parents क्या सोचते हैं? Academics एक important factor है. बच्चे को ABC आ गई, important, right age to enter school. What are your views around it?
So basically, academics अकेला नहीं होना चाहिए ideally. So हम बहुत बारी ऐसे सोचते हैं कि मेरे बच्चे को 1 to 10 आ गया है और वो ABC में भी इंटरेस्ट शो कर रहा है, तो I think he or she should go to school. But actually में प्रिपरेशन किसी और चीज़ की चाहिए. ये तो any which ways बच्चा सीख ही लेगा. आप सॉन्ग्स लगाओगे सीख लेगा, आप इसको स्कूल भी भेजोगे वहाँ पे भी सीखेगा. एंड अगर आप उसके साथ हर रोज़ भी, बिकॉज इवन आई लर्नड माई सन वॉज नॉट इवन 1, तो वो अकेला ही बैठा, ही वाज सेइंग 1 2 3. आई वाज लाइक आई डिडंट इवन टीच 1 to 10. सो बेसिकली दे आर अमेजिंग इमिटेटर्स. सो बच्चे इस टाइम पर वैसे भी सब कुछ इमिटेट करके सीख रहे हैं, बट इम्पॉर्टेंट क्या है? नंबर 1, कैन योर किड कम्युनिकेट? आपके बच्चे का कम्युनिकेशन, वो जो बात है वो आपको बता पा रहा है? बिकॉज वंस दे विल स्टेप आउट ऑफ योर ओन सेफ बाउंड्री गोइंग टू अनदर सेफ बाउंड्री, विच इज स्कूल, ऑफ कोर्स इज अ सेफ बाउंड्री, बट देन आर दे एबल टू कम्युनिकेट व्हाट इज दे वांट? Probably they want something. क्या वो कम्युनिकेट अच्छे से कर सकते हैं? सेकेंडली, हमें डेफिनेटली, क्योंकि वो इतने छोटे हैं स्टार्ट में, ऑफकोर्स आई डोंट से दे शुड बी प्रॉपरली वेल वॉशरूम ट्रेंड, बट येस उसको थोड़ा बहुत इंडिपेंडेंटली टू होल्ड, टू जस्ट गो टू वॉशरूम एंड वॉश देयर हैंड्स themselves. आजकल के schools में there are nannies to help in every step, but there are schools जहाँ पर नहीं भी हैं. So you actually need to check what all facilities are there, and is my kid मतलब equipped है वो सभी चीज़ों के लिए, that he can handle himself or herself for that particular area. So if there are nannies or there are schools who claim we potty train the kid, so that's great. But if not, then you should wait and you should actually train your kid first to be more independent. So one is communication, कि वो बच्चा अपनी बात complete कर सके, अपना convey कर सके. Second is अपने आप को independently छोटे छोटे tasks, to open your tiffin box, to hold the spoon, and to take out things from the bags, all those little things. So these things, according to me, they do not have necessarily an age bar. Some kids, they start doing it really early, and some kids, they take their own time. Even with my own two kids, they were just contrastingly different. So one started going at 1 year 5 months. He was, because he was to cry, he used to see another cousin going, okay, I want to go to school. And you really need to make sure just one thing, that the preschools aren't putting any undue pressure on kids. Rather, they are giving a beautiful, safe environment where there's a lot of stimulus and there's a lot of new learning. There's there's fine motor skills things, there's a cross motor skills things, there's another sort of toys, the Montessori things, games there. They're given time for free play. So all those things, if they are available in your vicinity, in your premises, around your environment, I think yes, you can send your kid to school. Because third, I was about to say, is how well are they able to control their emotions? See, kids can't control their emotions. The only thing they would know, they would throw the tantrums. They would, but then there is an exercise we as a parents should do. So we can come upon it later, but then how easily is able to your kid is able to convey that I'm not liking it. Many a times they become quiet and we force them. The thing is, we need not to force push them and work upon the separation anxiety, because separation anxiety is the first thing that comes जब बच्चा स्कूल जाता है. They have never been separated from parents otherwise. So how well we work upon with separation anxiety. So I think these are the four things basically. I'll share my personal story. First one didn't, was yearning to go to school, and the other one, when the moment she used to open her eyes, she was like, school jana hai, and her stomach used to start really aching. By the time we used to reach preschool, she used to puke, so that she didn't never wanted to enter. So we started playing a game. So we divided the whole, the two rooms of in our room, in the house itself. So I told, this is school. So we made all those soft toys, so they are teachers, they are your friends, they are games, and here is your home. So we used to practice that role play. And I used to say, bye, mama will go, and and you will gonna enjoy. So I told her, we need to practice it so that it becomes easier for you. So how well we train our kids for such situations is also very important, rather than just force pushing them कि नहीं भेज दो, अपने आप सीख जाएगा, धीरे धीरे अपने आप हो जाएगा. होगा, definitely होगा, they'll accept it. But you need to tell them predicted boundaries. We will meet you at this point, after lunch mama will come to pick you up. So when you are training, so you can always tell, okay, go count 50, after that mama will come. So, and you go back after once they've finished their count, so that they're sure, when I'm doing this, after that mama comes, so that particular time I'm not there. So I think these are 4-5 things which are really important once we make sure that kid is ready to go to school.
What are some of the other non-negotiables, like big no's in your mind? That, okay, if there's a school which has this particular factor, whether it's a formal school or a preschool, then the parent should say a big no to.
So one, of course, as I mentioned, was the distance. It shouldn't be that far, that it's taking as long as 1 hour plus to go to that school. Second, I would say, is the how rigid are these systems? How the whole admin and how all those teachers you have access to, you can, and how transparent the systems are. So once you go, you should know that what is the procedure, that if I send my school here, that they'll be in the class, and what is the procedure to pick up and how healthy it is. Many a times it is just that you're that person who goes to pick, it can be a smaller bus or van, sort of thing. The person goes and pick your kid from the class. So for me that was a big no. I really want more safer things. So if somebody goes from my end to pick up, so even if they show the escort card must have the picture. So all those things really matter to me. That how number one is the safety first.
Yeah.
So I mean, what all systems they have created, how strong are they following it, and how safer they are.
Yeah.
So that was the second point. And third, of course, are they having any such thing that is upon, that is probably checking there, or there's, I mean, healthy competition is a great, having a sports day is a great thing, but there are a lot of exams. I mean, of course, preschools do not have exams, and more like a test or such sort of thing where where a small kid as 4-year-old or 3-year-old or 2.5-year-old even is felt that, I am not good at it. So I really need to dig upon how are they following the curriculum? What are the methods? How many competitions they stress upon? I mean, even if they're giving the opportunities for public speaking and everything, how healthy are they? So I do not want to put on any undue stress
Yeah.
at that age.
Yeah.
What is required at that age is that free play, that free sort of learning where kid is learning from each and every aspect rather than feeling stressed about it. So there is another set of thought process which says that stress to some extent is important, but not before age of 5 for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
So if like when I was choosing my school for kid, I was very sure for the school who conducts exams in the kindergarten, in LKG, UKG, and first standard is a big no for me. But yes, I mean almost all in my friend circle, their kids are going to school where kid is giving exam at in the LKG, upper KG, lower KG, and upper KG in the kindergarten. For me, that was a big no. That can be personal here probably, but it was I mean, putting your kid in that stress कि A का B ऐसा ही लिखते हैं और वो इतना सुंदर ही लिखना है is something I really don't approve of for me.
Okay. So schools where the focus is more on exposure
Yes.
and learning different activities, and no to schools where there's a lot of stress and competition, unnecessary competition.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's also discuss about a situation where the child has started going to school.
Yeah.
And it's a big milestone for every parent. But सबके different experiences होते हैं. बहुत different experiences होते हैं where in some cases we see that the child has settled in very easily.
Yeah.
And in some situations the child is really struggling. उसको school जाना ही नहीं है. Why do you think this happens? Is it because of personality, parenting, या preparation? Like what is it?
Yeah. I think preparation is definitely very important. But then जब उस एज का बच्चा जा रहा है स्कूल में, what sort of environment probably he is probably not finding it that conducive or is not that comfortable in that environment. We need to dig deep to that level as well. Of course, preparation is one thing. It's you prepare it. If you have prepared well, as we discussed, ki you tell them, give them situations. Because my own daughter, even till age of 6.5-year-old, from that zero, she always used to hide in, behind me and used to, always, hold me hard whenever somebody else
There was still some sort of nervousness.
Yes. Yeah. So then we rehearsed it. And a weird strategy also worked. That was a whiteboard and a marker. I said, you be your mom, here's a whiteboard, and give me the assurance. But I'll take a deep breath, then I'll do that. And the steps and the way she was explaining it to me, I was like, wow, even I didn't know many of those things, which she's only telling me. So basically, when we empower kids and make them feel confident about it, they already know the solutions.
So you talk it out.
We need to talk it out.
Yeah.
We need to have those discussions. So I think preparation to work करता है, साथ में daily reflections daily connection of yours with your kid, how much the kid feels easy to express himself or herself with you is really important, basically. So, apart from what is happening in the school, this is the must things in the home itself. One, once kid is prepared, okay, that's thorough. Second, what sort of connection you have, because अब क्या है जब वो school में जा रहा है, what sort of environment that kid is facing or going through. It can be through peers, it can be through teachers, it can be any other thing. It should be conveyed to you in that manner. So, having that open communication, so doing such things in your routine always helps, because then it becomes part of everyday thing that I have to discuss my such things with mom, and then you know it really well. So once you know it well, that okay, these are the things, like for my one kid, it was her maths teacher that was troubling, that was, she was really strict. So then said, okay, now she is strict, now you have to tell me what should you do in that situation. So she said, she mimicked her, imitated her teacher. Now you tell me, what would you do, Amma? I told her, nothing, I'll find out ways, I'll learn more, I write nicely, so that that's the simple thing. Is it that simple? I said, yeah, I also try. Okay, I'll do that ways. I mean, we just discussed it. And the next morning, she went happily to the school. So it is like both things. So that is the home preparation we need once they go to school. So point is, struggle वहाँ आता है जहाँ पर communication weak है with the parents. So that is the main struggling point, which I think all parents need to overcome. And these are the few activities I'm doing with my community of parents as well. We're introducing very cute, cute games every day with parents. Please play with your, don't do anything, just play with your
Child, yeah.
kids. I mean, they're very simple connection games.
Yeah.
They laugh together and you would see, so these are few connection games which are available even online. If you're not the part of community, play with your kids, you have that time, have that comfort zone, and that kid really feels safe, and he doesn't कि मम्मा को पता चल जाएगा या पापा को पता चल जाएगा तो क्या होगा. I mean, they shouldn't feel like that. That's where they start lying, and that's where they start feeling stressful about whatever the
So they should
situation.
feel free to express.
Exactly.
So, Swati, I'm sure like all parents, they pay a lot of attention to all kinds of activities they can do
Yeah.
to prepare their child for school. What, in your experience, are some of the common mistakes that parents make? And that could be purely out of love. They don't know it's
Yes.
intentional, unintentional, mostly unintentional, which actually undermines their confidence when they go to school.
Okay. So, सबसे पहला and very importantly, correcting them so much. So it's like very simple. Kid is telling you, is saying numbers from 1 to 10, and this kid just skipped one number. It's like, ऐसे नहीं होता, ऐसे होता है. 6 के बाद 7 आता है बेटे. Don't do that. It is so natural. Even I used to do. So it's like, even when kid starts writing. So when we are so particular, no, 1 का dot है, 1 complete किया. And from that box, if line comes out, erase it. It's not nice. Please don't do that. It's very commonly we're doing it. It's where we are creating that connection, that negative connection of kids with that particular activity or that particular learning thing. And then, of course, giving so much importance to just marks and assessments. इसकी assessment है, इसके में पिछले बार से तो अब next time तो ना इससे double आने चाहिए. बिटू इस पे मेहनत करके, please don't stress that. And when kid is speaking and trying to converse in English, उसका थोड़ा सा grammatical error हो गया. Was नहीं आता, verb बोलते हैं यहाँ पर. Don't do that. बच्चा बोलेगा ही नहीं धीरे धीरे कि इन्होंने टोकना ही है. They'll start, so these are very common, and it comes so naturally to us as parent. Even I had done it. We were sitting together, we were doing, I know my son's had writing. So he was writing, he's like, I just didn't say I had eraser, and he just kept his pencil and he went. He walked away. मुझे नहीं करना. So why do we need to correct them? It's just that once they're writing, they're doing, appreciate them, that's fine. And then just tell them the correct answer in the end again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or probably you're doing it again. So if kid miss that number. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give me a high five.
Yeah.
Why you need to always pinpoint and correct? Because that negative association with learning is something that puts kid at back step पे ले जाता है उसको, उसका कॉन्फिडेंस अपना. यहाँ पर बहुत सारा डिबेट है. लोग कहेंगे कि बच्चों को इतना सॉफ्ट क्यों बना देना है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट बीइंग मेकिंग देम सॉफ्ट. रेजिलियंस की टेक्निक्स ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट है. उनको रेजिलियंट बनाना है हमें फॉर इन अनदर सेंस. बट ये वाली जो एसोसिएशन लर्निंग है ना, उसको नेचुरल और फ्री फ्लोइंग रहने दो, एंड इवेंचुअली वो बेटर ही करेगा. सो इफ माई किड इज लाइक, मुझे पता है कि वो अपनी चीज़ें छोड़ देता है कहीं पर भी, and he'll keep his specs and then forget, he'll keep his bag somewhere. So always telling him, I know my kid is so responsible, or else I'll start, okay, let's put this bag together, rather than telling him, tumne ye bhi nahi kara, you didn't even do this, see, look what your things are always lying here. And they just take our thing like, mama is always telling and always correcting us. I don't want to be around her only.
Yeah. So communicating things in a more productive way.
Exactly. So it's just like that if you're communicating it, let's do it together.
Yeah.
If they've spilled anything, let's put that back again, because that's how they imitate and then they learn.
Yeah.
If they see that mama is doing it, oh, I should also do.
Mm.
So if they say mama is saying I'm so responsible, oh, I should keep it nicely. I'm actually very responsible. I'm so good at everything. My mama believes that, my parents believe that I am really good at particular thing. So once we show that belief in them, then only they learn that self-belief. So those mistakes are a big no for. That we naturally do it in a very common way, honestly.
Absolutely. Can totally understand. I've seen that being done by many parents as well. So very interesting. So Swati, अब schooling system की बात करते हैं. And if we go back to our days, काफ़ी ज़्यादा focus था on marks, and you also mentioned कि इसके marks ज़्यादा आ गए, उसके marks ज़्यादा आ गए. So marks and memorization were the key focus areas. Yeah. How do you think that has changed? Whether that has changed at all or not?
It is gradually changing to an extent, but still it is so deep-rooted in our systems. And thank you for such conversations. And I hope that people would also listen to such conversations and will actually give another perspective to them. But then, honestly, stressing upon marks, stressing upon just academics won't take us anywhere. Okay, we just met for the first time. So, hi, I'm Swati. How many marks did you get in your fifth grade? So, do we meet like that? So, are we even concerned about what and how were we then? What we learn, what we never be, how what sort of life you're living actually. So for that, they're altogether different skills that they matter most. So, I mean, now coming upon to your, what exactly you want me to pen it down, that how exactly schools should be, or
what should real learning be like actually?
Okay. So there is a dream school sort of thing which I always really want to be here for our kids, wherein, first of all, the academic part should be mandatory, but it should be with the pace of personalized. Like for every kid, there's a personalized pace. You might be good at English, I might be good at science, another must be good at maths. So we are given. So today, in evolving technology of AI can map our personal journeys, right? So probably, and I've seen it happening in many schools in America and in other counterparts as well, in Japan as well, wherein there's a personalized map of each and every kid. So I found kids who were even 6 years old. They said, we have done 9th grade English. And they were, because one was really fond of, but they were supposed to do that minimal level of whatever is required in other subjects in that grade as well. Now when kid is really happy and at peace and I'm doing what I like, and one is really following the passion, and there is no stress कि ये सारे सब्जेक्ट्स इतने होकर इन सभी सब्जेक्ट्स में फुल मार्क्स आने चाहिए, that stress always narrows you and limits your brain.
Yeah.
So basically, and those kids who were following those subjects from the early age have been doing better in other subjects as well, because they were doing with their own will, stress free. So one, I would want, there would is a dashboard sort of thing where everyone is mapping their journey on their own, where there's a green bar ki yahan tak minimum karna hai, and rest is upon to you, whatever you want to learn. Because I see kids like when they are left free on their own, like my son came to me, Mama, I've created 2 apps, one on MIT App Inventor, another one is on Scratch. So I've shifted to, as like, I don't even know about MIT App Inventor. So it's like
Yeah.
when they are left free to learn on their own, we have no idea what all capacities their brain have. So that was the academic part. I always see is the 8 multiple intelligences. So then comes the body, that is the gross motor skills, kinesthetic, that of course schools are providing, that is the healthy sportsmanship and everything. And what I feel living through, I am actually done, that I consider 8 multiple intelligence is really important, and I feel expressing through body is also very important. So according to me, in a classroom, let's say there is a chapter called fractions in maths, right? And we always teach open the book number this, exercise number this, and they start writing on the board, and I am not that sort of learner. I am just not a visual learner and who's written the black and white sort of thing written. I'm more creative as a learner. How would you justify my learning? So here's a question. What I feel is, if there's a fraction, I think teachers should give the assignment to, that's what I've been discussed in my TED talk I gave, to, groups of kids. If there's a group of 40 kids, then let's have 5 of each, like eight groups. Then one group is presenting fractions through bodily movements. That could be become half, or maybe through hand they're telling, and then they're teaching. They have to teach, because there's a Feynman technique says that जब बच्चे को बोला जाता है कि आप explain करो, they would learn it even in a better way. That confidence would be in a better way. So another group could be given that you express it through naturalistic. So all those naturalistic learner will get that happy. They're supposed to be, they're made free on the grounds and go nature se jao, flowers ke saath, petals ke saath, kuch bhi kar sakte hain. ठीक है. Then present it in the class. Then another is, you are supposed to give a presentation, a proper public speaking sort of thing. Then another is another group. We can divide it into that, all those 8 multiple intelligences, which says kinesthetic, gross motor, fine motors. Fine motors could be create project, right? Maybe through painting or whatever, small little crafty things. So, and then for the next chapter, the group rotates. Now the same group is getting another sort of. Now, earlier, the one who was doing with the naturalistic thing, now they have to create that proper presentation, or maybe those for intra learners who want that, that silent space. I want to do it on my own. They can just present it in their own way. So all those multiple intelligences should be there in the curriculum itself. So that there is no one way of just textbooks, that whiteboard or a smart board today ki video bhi dikhao. I'm not that fan of that thing as well ki is particular subject ab aajkal kya ho raha hai, is particular topic hai, uski video lagi aur us pe discussion hua, and those schools very proudly say we have smart boards and we use visual things. Honestly, इसमें भी बच्चा सिर्फ ले रहा है, देख रहा है. It is not doing anything hands-on.
Not contributing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how would researchers, how would new things would originate when kids are very simple topics? Why just, you name the topic, honestly. So I made my kid learn parts of plants. Very simple. So she was really getting confused between herbs, shrubs, and climbers and creepers. And while telling her, even I realized I was always confused about climbers and creepers. So I said, okay, now you be a herb that's really small. So she actually crunched herself. I said, now be shrubs. Then she came on her knees. I said, now you become a creeper. She started, creeping around the floor through crawling around. And then I said, now be climber. What's the difference between creeper and climber? Now while creeping, she climbed a table or a chair sort of thing. A creeper can't climb. A climber can actually creep along on a height thing as well. I was like, now you just see just a very simple activity. The concept is clear forever, for forever coming in their life as well. So that's how I want, I mean, education system to evolve, sorry. That's how I want the education system to evolve, basically. See, to have those all ways of learning where each and every part of brain is getting activated.
Correct.
Each and every kid is getting different exposure of things. So that is something, that's what I say, there's a dream sort of school wherein third is I was coming was the financial literacy. Why in the early years of our development we were not told about what exactly our finances, what is how to manage investments, and what are the cost price, selling price. I'll just share, I told you I'll share later, that we did this Spago Club activity. That was an entrepreneurship club. So the first day we divided the groups into 5 kids each, and we said one is CEO, so that is visionary. One is CMO, that is a social person, and then sort of thing. We gave very fancy names to all those things, and they within that first day they decided their startup. They even came up with the names, and I'll tell you the names they came with. They were like, wow. So there was a kids jewelry brand sort of thing. They said, I think we will name it as red velvet jewelry. I said, why? So once you wear our jewelry, it's like you're walking on red velvet carpet.
Wow.
Look at the thought process.
Wow.
You see, we never given exposure to them for that. And then eventually in other meetings, we used to meet every Sunday in some sort of cafe. We used to order something which they'll really love, all those snacks, and we used to have chit chats over it.
Yeah.
It's because I was seeing my kids even involving on all idhar udhar ka discussions which are not productive, and I wanted their their group of kids to talk little more sense, honestly. So we did this activity, and honestly, one of them even ordered 3D printer and is printing his own toys, and he started his own brand. He's 8-year-old
Wow.
bachcha, ठीक है? And he's like my play space, and his every birthday and he is coming up with new creative toy to gift with. He never buys now. He prints toys and gift it to us, and something like that, or things are happening. And they were discussing everything about how cost is calculated. So they were like कि जो मम्मा पापा की मनी मिल गई उससे चीज़ बन गया, अब बस हमने तो बेचना है. ऐसा नो, जो मम्मा पापा ने आपको दिया है दैट्स द कॉस्ट प्राइस.
Yeah.
ओह, फिर तो प्रॉफिट्स बहुत कम हो जाएंगे मम्मा. So you see, so it's like telling them all those things, but then they learned it so well. And these things they were using for the marketing. So they will put up, then you'd put up an exhibition. So what they used to go to the Sathwala counter. They used to buy something for ₹100, and because it's nice and we'll add upon to it, we'll sell it for 200. They came to me and said that. So look at the tactics they are. They were using. We never thought. We didn't teach anything from our own. It's all their own creativity. Why isn't it taught in our schools? But my point is, why aren't these simple things of entrepreneurial journey or finance, even not even entrepreneurial, not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but the simple basic financial learning is not been taught in the schools.
So it's interesting, Swati, that you mention all of these points. But when we think about financial literacy or all of these advanced skills like blockchain, Bitcoin, ये adults के लिए ही बहुत complex है, right? It's so difficult to understand, and I'm sure like if you talk to adults also, a lot of them are not very sure what all these concepts mean, right? But how do you introduce them to kids, and what is the right age to introduce these?
Okay, so first of all, what all concepts you want to introduce? So if I मतलब एक analogy देती हूँ, जब एक time था ना when we were really small, there were lesser cars and more scooters. So very few people knew how to drive a car. And eventually the cars increased, and now everybody knows. Most of the people know. Even the women, most of the women know how to drive cars. So it's like now the AI is evolving. Now they already have this thing. I've never seen the kids around me Googling. They always do ChatGPT. They evolve. They take it, and they are even smarter adapters, and they are evolving to the change even better than us, because we were never taught in that direction. You rightly said that even we feel, nervous about when we talk, these terms, blockchain, AI, when they're introduced to us, because we were never prepared and we were never discussed about that when we were kids. So what is the right age is not, it depends upon the concept. So if it's AI is as simple as using Claude, GPT, and this, the kids from even the 7, 8 years, they are using for their search purposes. So I'm not that sort of a mother who would say screen free. मुझे अपने बच्चे को screen ही नहीं देना. I disagree to an extent here. I understand all the psychology behind it, but do respect that. But yet, I think thoda that too productive screen time. If it's a good, very very inspiring movie, I would want my kid to watch it. And I've seen my kids learning through those movies. And similarly for the concepts. So if it's as deeper as, deep AI, of course the kids are too small for that. But giving them a smaller exposures, it's great. And how to, like now, kids, when eventually going to the bigger classes as grade 4, 5, they've even started using Canva for all their own things. Then of course now with Canva they know other AI tools as well, who that how to use them. So this is the age till 12 years where they're using AI tools. Beyond that, I would want kids to create their own AI tools. So there's a difference, that's how the learning should be. You're just getting introduced to it, then you're using it, and now you're learning how to make that technology.
So this is basically the difference between using technology and learning from it, right? You're either mindlessly using technology or you're actually learning to use technology and then develop new things out of it. So Swati, as you mentioned, AI har jagah hai, and it is very difficult to avoid it. But how do you think AI is going to change the way children learn in the future?
It's gonna be completely different. It has already started, honestly. The example I gave to you about the personalized learning graphs, it has happened because it has happened through AI, because they've created those AI tools that each and every kid can map their own journey, can do it on their own pace. So of course, with AI, yes, it is crippling the mind to an extent that now kids are not thinking on their own. But we always say, AI will replace a lot of things. The thing is, AI won't replace people as such. They would replace people who are just mindlessly and blindly following AI. So kids, we are preparing. See, AI को आपने prompt दिया, it gave you. You're not supposed to just blindly copy paste it or just rely on what AI is telling you. Do your own research, refine it to your own thinking, use it as cues and clues, but do not blindly use it. That's even in the jobs, that's even in our own, I mean, if you are working as well, if you're using AI better than others, that's how you can be in the game. So even for the kids as well, so when they're using it, I always say that उसने दे दिया आपको, but now you do it in your own language. Now you use it. If I won't say it, it's then I am basically hampering their thinking brains, their creativity. So as a with this technology, we have to be very sure and be prepared for one very important thing कि इन सब चीज़ों के साथ एक बहुत बड़ी responsibility भी आ रही है.
Absolutely.
With every technology comes that responsibility. जब इंटरनेट आया था तो इंटरनेट बहुत मतलब लाइफ चेंज कर दी ना, दुनिया भी चेंज कर दी, उसके साथ उसने इल इफेक्ट्स लेकर आया है. अब उसको रिस्पॉन्सिबली यूज़ करना इज समथिंग we need to teach our kids and something we have to be really careful about. So even if my kid is playing a video game through some app or so, I sit with him and I understand he कैसे खेलता है with full excitement as if I'm a kid. ओ अब मर जाएगा, अब ऐसे कैसे होगा, पॉइंट्स कैसे बनेंगे, so that he doesn't see me as कि I'm always one who think video games नहीं खेलनी. So what happens is with that particular thing, I've never seen him doing or my kids doing tantrums. Oh, screen nahi deni. If I'm taking phone back or they're screaming, why are you taking it back or something like that. Why? Because I am actively involved. What are you watching? Then I say कि see ये आपने देख लिया है. I don't think अब ये mindless हो रहा है. अभी ज़्यादा हो रहा है. इसकी requirement नहीं है. And if there's some particular time, we always set a time limit कि इतने minutes का ही game चलेगा. And we put that on timer alarm.
Yeah.
The moment alarm rings, they give it back to me.
So, Swati, coming back to the schooling system, actually, um, AI important hai. It's going to significantly change the way children learn in the future as well. Do you think the current schooling system is equipped for an AI-driven future?
So current, of course, if you see अब जो पीछे even our PM is trying कि AI introduce की जाए as a subject, and also this they are introducing media as well. They're introducing AI as well, and अब AI के Olympiads भी आ गए हैं. From this year onwards, there are Olympiads on for AI now. So of course, एक impetus देने की कोशिश कर रही है government, but it will take years, if not a year, little more than that, to basically bring that such changes in almost entire, because India is not a small country in any such imagination. So for that, in that case, it's our responsibility as well that we start working upon those skills from now on. If not, see, they are, it's like a responsible exposure to them. They already have exposure, especially when they grow till the age of 10. They're like, we know it all. Now it's, you need not to wait till teenage now. Then when the teenagers tell us ki, please, we know it. Now even the 10-year-old says that I know it. So it's like they have the exposure of what to do, from where to learn and everything. But it's our responsibility that we get involved in that as well.
So, do you think that kids who do not have exposure to AI are at any disadvantage?
I think yes, to an extent.
Okay.
Because that is, of course, that's a very strong opinionated statement, to be honest. But the way things are evolving, जहाँ पर parents को लग रहा है कि their kids are not having any exposure, they do not know anything. I think if they are really scared of screens, they can start with AI books. There are a lot of good AI activity books as well, coding activity books. So people says coding redundant हो गया है, वो तो अब आगे चाहिए नहीं. I understand coding is not for coding as such. The coding is for problem solving skills. To have that methodology, to have that first principle at place, that these are the basic things. What is step one, or how to go to the complexer stage through steps. So that's where the coding is required. So yes, as a parent, we should start giving them a little exposure from age of 6, 7, 8 through books if they really don't want to give the screens. But then talking about them, and you too as a parent learning about that, evolving through that is important. I still have bunch of people around me who do not use ChatGPT,
Yeah.
but that's how they should start using
So,
it.
actually, like, bulk of the parents don't use ChatGPT because they're scared that, हमारा natural जो development है, that'll get impacted. There are all sorts of opinions around
Yeah,
that.
that is, yeah, please.
But now, for the benefit of our parents as well, if you're to talk about 2, 3 core skills that parents should focus on for their kids that AI can't replace, what would those be?
Of course, first is be the part of change, evolve yourself. Whatever is new technology is coming, if you scare to give exposure to your kids, then do it yourself. Do it for your own self. They eventually will learn through you. Second is make your kid really confident, having that strong self belief wherein they go for good public speaking. Now, you see, when everybody is equipped with AI, you've written a prompt, I've written a prompt, and we got our answers right. Each one of us has got the answers right. Then who would stand out? The one who is really has strong self belief, one who knows socially how can I express confidently. So here is where they should focus upon. Third is resilience, is the willpower. It's like situation can go topsy turvy anywhere. Be it in job, be it in entrepreneurial journey, we know how fast things, you plan something and it flips over the next moment. And even for that matter, in our relationships as well, many a times things do not turn out the way we expect that to be. They'll have to go through that whole journey of teenager, then in 20s, a lot of emotional relationships they'll be building, and then what sort of different situations, how resilient are they for different situations, how mentally strong are they, that will make them different. That'll make them come out stronger. So, and the other thing I would here point is, okay, now we have to work upon this. Then another is, of course, the leadership skills and the ambition. How structured are you for your own life? How you schedule yourself, how you schedule good habits for your kids, right? And then there's a goal setting, there's a vision board thing. How sorted and clarity of thought you have would also makes that difference, right? And I always see it as five skills. So I'm saying telling you it in that order only. And last is very importantly the way you said कि जो चैट जीपीटी और जो एआई है वो हम सबको डम कर देगा, डम बना रहा है, एंड दैट्स ट्रू. बट देन optimizing your brain to make it sharper, make it more quicker, is something which is not taught us naturally in our schools. It is through focus techniques. It's like you see your own childhood or my own school journey. We have been given a chapter, we're supposed to memorize it, and then the exam happens, then each of us score differently to our memory basis. And but nobody taught us how to increase our memory. Nobody taught us the focus techniques. Nobody told us that simple brain gymming activities can sharpen our mind. All those brain gymming came even later. There are a lot of another memory and focus activities. So if we start teaching our kids from very early age, especially the formatives, that's 0 to 5 years, and then 6 to 10 years, that using those techniques will make you sharper, will make you more clearer as a person, is where child will stand out. So these are five skills, and I so strongly strive for these skills that my own startup is around these five skills only. Because when I see my own kids, that they should actually be confident, resilient, and very well thoughtfully. They make their own routines. I don't tell them you have to get up at that time. They make their own routines. They make their own diet chart. They write in on chat gpt, I'm feeling that sort of thing today, my stomach is that I want to run today for this much, so what all should I eat? So they do those thinking on their own. So I that's what I want us as well as individuals to be really clear about our goals. So these are the five things which AI
Are
will never be
important.
able to replace.
Replace. So I've also heard you talking about yes, I can belief system. Uh, for adults, it's still fine. What does it really mean when it comes to kids? Because parents को थोड़ा सा abstract लगता है. Yes, I can. What does it really mean?
Okay. It starts as early as, so I've always shared that I'm always surrounded by kids. It's not just my two kids, I always have a lot of kids. So it is like I've seen, अगर बच्चा कुछ करने जा रहा है, उससे कुछ खुल नहीं रहा है. There are different types of kids. So one will please खोल दो. Another will keep doing stuff. How can I open it? They'll do it. Then they'll even see what are the ways to do that. Then if still, then they'll go for help. Then they will come to me, I can't open it. A very simple example, no? So what we as parents we generally do is, even if making a kid sit for a ride in an amusement park, it's a little height, let's quickly go and help. Okay, come on, you get inside it. Why? Let the kid manage. यहाँ आ गया ना, yes I can. कितनी simple सी shift of thought process है. When kid is trying, give them the time. When kid is actually vouching for maybe a chocolate bhi aaya hai, ask them to wait for at least 30 seconds. Count 30. Have that patience. Because आजकल नहीं है patience. कैसे आएगी? Because everything is on a click on button. So it's like all those things. ये तो बहुत छोटी छोटी से I started. So yes I can is that belief system that whatever situation you be, you always have that feeling, yes, I can do it. That is something I really want in my kids and everybody's kid. That whatever situation, be it emotional relationship, be it school time, be it in their careers, this one line is so powerful. Wherever you are, it will always charge you up that yes, I can handle.
But does this happen through the years, or So there's no particular age when you start, right?
Yes,
And
for
it
this, of course, there's
starts,
no
yeah.
age.
It just
Even when
happens
a six
naturally.
month old deer is trying, it's that they don't, trying to crawl. It starts from that moment itself. And how much protective and so you're like, oh, the more will they, it's like, let it be, calm down. We need to be ourselves. Yes, kid can. Yes, I can. I'm a good mother. I know my kid will handle. And so that is something we want in us and even in our kids, that we can do it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Swati, you're also certified in therapeutic dance and education, which is quite fascinating. Now, tell me, like all these creative forms of art, whether it's dance, music, painting, how important are these for kids in their emotional development, cognitive development?
I think they are not just important, they should be mandatory, especially. I'll just start with a very different fact when I wasn't knowing. So if you think kids are taking time to memorize particular thing, or they're facing problem in focus. Do you remember that music class in our school which जिसमें होता था सा रे गा मा पा धा नि सा and then the reverse? This simple activity of sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa and speak it in reverse actually increases the focus.
Hmm.
And simple activity of back counting from 100 to 1 brings back your focus. So it is like now coming back to therapeutic dance, many a times, even for adults, even for kids, we do not we cannot decode our own behavior. We cannot decode our kids' behavior. One is really quiet. At times we really can't process what is going in the mind. It's because there's so many things together. At times you're trying, something happened, you didn't even get time to register it, something else happened, some other thing came. Even for adults, for us, कुछ हुआ, हमें कोई चीज़ ऐसे लगा कि यार ये ठीक नहीं हुआ, इतने में something else came, and at the end of the day we are really drained and frustrated, and we don't even know what exactly happened, and we keep that all the emotions inside our body and for a longer period of time. That's how the whole chain of being sad inside, be empty inside starts, because mind is not now in position to process the information overload we have, and the body has is bearing all that load, and body is not getting that vent out. So now here in a just single podcast we cannot discuss the all lot of different techniques which are used in dance therapy, but then what you can just do is maybe switch on the music, shut the room, and just dance. Because when you do any sort of movement, if you don't like dancing, just do. If you love gymming, you love doing jumping jacks or something cardio, or maybe not even cardio, simple sway movements, they will release those emotions. We do not understand how important at times is this physical workout is, and topped it up with the music and in some dance or the movement where your body and your soul is just free flowing, it actually releases all those emotions unknowingly. So you everything which was going in your head which you've not been able to process is already unknowing. So if you're releasing it, so you tend to remain better sorted, more clearer. So that's what I'm saying. Learning through dance therapy is not like my own son. I would never. It's slightly dyslexic, but I always call it. He was ambidextrous. He was gifted and he was smart enough. That's how I always said it to myself and him. So he couldn't then process what it was written. So we always used to do it with dance only. That this is C, this is D, this is A. So all those movements we used to do, and when we started doing phonics, that was even complex. And phonics helped him, but then there's so many exceptions. He said, "Mama, oxygen में Y क्यों होता है, I क्यों नहीं होता?" I said, "You'll have to learn it. Even I have no very smart answer for it." So I just get how to. He's like, "Oh, sir." Then we used to do that movement of
Yeah.
Y. So whenever is oxygen, do it like that.
Ah,
So he remembers till day that oxygen means this. So I have to put Y.
why?
So that's what I'm saying. That's what my expertise is into. That using your body for learning. So that's how it really helps you learn and memorize the way we learn types of plants. Yeah, so it's like using your body for learning is something you always remember always. You would have better clarity, and you have lots of other things, good things happening, which
Yeah.
we are not aware of. Yeah.
But is there any right age for kids to be introduced to these forms of expression?
I think from the day one. Okay, it's like when your baby is born, you always do that massages. Then you do that, you hold their hands and do this 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to have introduced movement in everybody's body, why just kids, even us. Matlab, I would say keep it mandatory because abhi kya hai, especially women, they are so busy and highly, this high aspirational founders and people who are working really, really hard. And to please take out time for your own, whether you call it workout, whether you call it body movement, whatsoever word you want to give it, please take out time for that because that is really, really important. Yeah, so there's no age for it. Even if you're 60 plus, like thing I gifted my mom on my mother's 60th birthday was a personal trainer who goes to her every day. See that you start with your, because it's the now that phase, and she always thanked me. That was the best gift ever because now she feels so energetic. Touch wood.
No,
So
I absolutely agree. In fact, as founders, that's the most difficult part for us to maintain that balance. So, Swati, we've talked about so many interesting points, particularly when it comes to good education, whether it's related to confidence building or the role of the academic curriculum, emotional development, AI and tech driven skills. If you're to summarize it for our audience, what is good education in your view?
for me, whatever being is taught in schools, please embrace it. Let the kid enjoy it to the maximum and just don't focus on their marks and let them be enjoying their subjects. So one, if you're talking about academics, I'm taking it as a number one because parents give a lot of stress on it. क्योंकि स्कूल जा रहा है तो marks तो आनी चाहिए. But let's not that marks be the only criteria. Second, your kid will have self belief only if you believe in them. Always say positive words to them, even if they're doing wrong. I know my kid was really messy, but I've been always saying, you're so responsible. You're taking care of your things so well. Even if he would keep one thing right, I would say these words to him because with those words, he started doing another three things right as well. So, third is giving them a strong routine that will give that ambition to them to have good habits, to have the good schedule, the importance of their goals. And fourth is working upon their mental strength. Just don't jump to help them. Don't be that overprotective parent ki, how would you let me help, let me help. You need not to. They are really smart. They're really, really smart. They'll be doing it. So working on their mental resilience, even if somebody is bullying them, ask them to first of all calm down. We'll work upon it. There is way around to help out. There's way around for it. So then, of course, I'll discuss the AI and everything because it is important. You evolve with technology, and because आज AI है, कल को AI का better version भी आ जाएगा. ठीक है ना? Then we'll have to evolve. Embrace the change for your own self. कि ये चीज़ अब चेंज हो चुकी है. पहले नहीं थी हमारे टाइम पर, अब है. And if you will embrace it, your kids will automatically. So don't be so rigid about यही marks. School means marks. School means ranks. School means वो जो parent teacher meeting में आज मेरा बच्चा क्लास में ये आ रहा है. This won't take us anywhere, honestly. I've seen toppers, friends of mine. I used to be one topper person, always getting highest marks in the class, always best, trying to be good in everything I do. But there came a point when I was shifted and to another school and I shattered like whoosh. I mentioned my TED talk from topper to popper. So it's like I wasn't prepared for failures. Let them fail. They learn the best through failing. So failures are good. Embrace failures. So once they fail, they even if given the right environment, they would do better next time. But if not given right environment, they'll go even down the drain. So these are few things which I always feel as a parent we should give, because हम स्कूल तो नहीं बना सकते as a parent खुद से, but then these are things which we can really do, very small changes. These are not big things I just shared. So but it really helps.
Forms the foundation of good education. So, just to put it in perspective, if you have to give one example of a child who is learning well versus performing well.
That's what I just said, because performing well means in our language, the way we were taught, maximum highest marks are रहे हैं, और हर it's like परफॉर्मिंग वेल को आप क्या बोलोगे, मार्क्स ही बोलते हैं हमारे बचपन में तो, और आज भी इफ आई गो टू स्कूल दिस आई चलो दैट्स अ लिटिल पर्सनल, my son won't like if I share it here, so I won't share, but yeah, it's like he put in a lot of efforts in one particular thing, but the results, he didn't get the results. He didn't do that well in that particular field. But I said, I am so proud of you, I know your efforts, you did so well, you actually put in, because when we reward effort, is their brain believes that every sort of situation effort will take us out of it. Yes, I can. और हम सिखाते क्या है कि 95% मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, गुड जॉब, 85 आ रहे हैं, ओके जॉब, 70% बेटा जी यू आर गॉन. बेटा जी इज नॉट गॉन. Even if it's 70%, let's work on efforts. It's research based, 30 years की research है Carol Dweck करके, ठीक है, and then just go through the research. All those kids who were always praised for their effort have been doing great, and all those kids who have been always applauded for their marks, for their performance, they did in one particular thing right, but put in the other situation, they couldn't do anything at all. So how would you rate that performance? So if I'm really good at science and maths and there's a competition of singing going on, oh मैं तो ऐसे हो जाऊंगी कि shit ये मैं कहाँ आ गई. If they always reward effort, the kid will try, let me just try यार, try तो करना है. So it's like that. So I think effort and how do you go about it is something to be praised upon. So when a kid brings a beautiful drawing, mama kaisa banaya, instead of saying wow it's so beautiful, always say oh great, which all colors you used, your choice of colors, you have been okay, you drew it like that. Talk more about their efforts rather than saying beautiful painting, wow. Let's not do those, talk about those outcomes. Let's talk about how they did it. And a very simple, I gave a simplest example instead of, going in a complex tayari or competition ki koi tayari. So how much effort you're putting in, so is something we should always reward our kids with.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. I think, Swati, with this, we'll move to the next segment of the episode.
Okay.
So I'll share a few statements with you, and you have to tell me whether those are red flags or green flags. Statement 1. Good marks are the most important indicator of a child's success.
Red flag.
Teaching children how to think is more important than what to think.
A very green flag.
Introducing technology early always leads to better learning.
It depends how you, so I think it's a red flag. It's
Okay.
not, yeah.
Okay.
It's not, I mean, it's like how do you introduce is very important.
Yeah.
You just don't give that technology like that. It has to have a progression to it.
Simple, everyday experiences can build stronger skills than structured classes.
Green flag.
A big green flag.
Yeah.
Children should be exposed to multiple skills from a very young age.
Green flag.
Confidence and communication are skills that can be developed from early childhood.
Very true. Green flag.
A child who starts reading and writing early will always perform better in school.
Not necessarily. A lot of things may matter. Yeah, but I don't know if it's not a red flag though, but it's not completely true. So
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
you don't completely agree with this
Yeah, I
statement?
don't completely agree, but I don't disagree as well that don't read and write. Writing is not allowed early. Writing is a red flag. Reading is a good thing. So reading can be even started as young as 3 months old. So when your kid is they're big books or the
Yeah.
touch and feel books, they come with big pictures, big flashcards. So that's if it's counted in reading, that's visual prompt you give it to your kid. So that is good thing, but writing early is not at all recommended.
It's
So
not
that's red flag.
Okay. Strict discipline in early years is the best way to prepare children for school.
Red flag, but a good routine, a structured routine is a better word. That I would have said green flag, but strict discipline is like danda thing is red flag.
Comparing your child with others can sometimes motivate them to perform better.
Big red flag. I think whatever they're doing, they won't even do that.
So no
Yeah.
comparison with other folks.
Never.
Talking openly about good touch and bad touch can confuse children at a young age.
Red flag. We should talk about it.
Before we wrap up this episode, one interesting insight for the viewers. According to UNICEF, almost 32% of Indian children between the ages of 3 and 4 have low early child development index scores, showing notable gaps in literacy, cognitive, and socio-emotional skills. I think after this episode, we clearly agree on one thing. The goal of parenting isn't about raising good students, but confident, independent, and most importantly, future ready children. Because the future won't belong to those who have the most knowledge, but to those who know how to learn, unlearn, and evolve. Thank you so much, Swati, for sharing such valuable insights. It was such a great conversation, and I'm sure our viewers found the episode very, very helpful.
Thank you so much that I could speak my heart out and you gave me this platform wherein we could share some really important messages which everyone, I wish when we were small, young, our parents knew and I wish even I was when young mom, I knew it better. And though I always embrace my parents' parenting for making me what I am today, but today's parenting has become difficult with lots and lots of lot of stimulus around. So yes, we all need little more guidance here. So thank you for having this discussion, putting this important topic forward.
If you found this episode helpful, please share it with others who you think can benefit from it. Till then, take care of yourselves. Keep following our series. In the next episode, we will discuss the next aspect of parenting. Take care. Keep learning with your kids. Bye-bye. Hi, parents. Please welcome Tanya Mehra.
Feeling is mutual because this is a topic I'm always ready to talk about.